All right, everyone. Here we are. It's a big moment. We have age 100 proposed changes. I think it was posted 5 minutes ago, so it's hot off the presses. I think it's been announced on movie yet. General mechanics. Quite a bit of mechanics changes. Building, science, military, spell, ritual. Nothing interesting. Dragon. Costable. Honor thing. Races. No new races and personalities. We have merchant. Hey, look at that. We have shepherd again. Wow. Let's dive into it. First up, general mechanics. Attacks no longer convert specs into elites. Right off the bat, big change. Um, this sort of removes some playstyles, enables some other playstyles. Um, even more value placed on the elite now for sure. Uh, you know, half that value or so in difference spec and elite made up by converts, at least in more converts. It also changes the dynamics for defensive elite races like very traditionally, sometimes Dark Elf, sometimes Halfling. That's interesting. Um, puts more focus onto prep and having pure elite. See how that pans out. Um, as we read through the changes, I might reference this, but I won't say too much. Wizards killed on Massacre increased 20%. Totally into that. I've been suggesting almost exactly this for a while. Um, Massacre kills a lot of thieves and not a lot of wizards. So I think this is a fine change. It just, you're not really massing someone to get rid of their wizards, you're massing someone to get rid of their thieves. They've got no defense and it's like a general suck. Just increasing that also means to kill wizards intentionally a bit more. Explore pool decay increased. Uh, I don't. Growth cap was. Who cares? End of war ceasefire. Explore costs are up 20%. That's fine. Offensive ceasefire removed. So we're basically have no more force ceasefire, but you have offensive force ceasefire available. So if you wave someone for a couple days and they're just doing pure ops and hits whatever following meter at end, X meter reduced to 180 from 225. That's a fine change. I'm not sure that'll change much except for specific situations. You'll get there faster, of course. Oh, we've got relations throttling games. Interesting. So it used to be when you were ever 75 or 100 meters apart, every extra meter you were in front of someone was 1%, effectively like free gangbang protection, but minus 1% gains. But now it also includes a casualty reduction and abuse something, raise bounce, punish someone you maxed out your meter. So that's interesting. I'm down. Relative kingdom net worth is introduced again. I believe it used to be on a province base only, average province. So that might mean something. No more war points. Good riddance. I mean, as a guy that's almost only ever gone for war score honor for the last 3 years, I care about war score. It's so convoluted. They've changed the formula like 4 times. The forced ceasefire thing, it's just a mess. Um, and it doesn't seem to matter what you do anymore. Whoever gets luckiest wins. Well, auto surrender times lowered to 2 days if you're ever stuck in a war with someone twice your size. That's interesting. Means if you're max meter against someone, times bigger than you, like some growth kingdom, that it doesn't drag out 3 days. Just axes and time war might matter. Honor gains increased in war by 20% across all methods of gaining honor. Okay. A little bit unsure about that. I guess it means more onus on taking honor rather than just having high war score. Minimum land gains increased from 3.5 to 4%. I've been asking for this a little bit. I'm a big advocate of only ever hitting in net worth range for maximum efficiency. Good change. But sometimes you should just be able to do a bit more damage to someone really small just by hitting them a lot. It's just a little annoying how protection they get. So 3.5 to 4%. That's like 15% more gain. 7 to 8. Yeah, 15% more gain. Your bottom feeding in war reward. Uh, okay, so they're introducing a land and honor transfer at war, plus some tier-based honor. Kingdom gets credits in science books. Interesting. So there's going to be a little less honor in the server, more onus in actually taking your opponent's honor rather than just farming. Target people with more honor, and you play in such a way to take their honor. But also, you still need to win or losing your honor to them. Not sure what extra credits in science book that means relative to now. That means that's happening. Increase from what we currently get. Bigger percentage, or stating, or is it just stating that this is modified by or someone up? So every time you win a war, your bonuses increase 5%. For just free honor generation credits and back up 10 wars at 50% more bonus. That's pretty cool. Um, I mean, this seems really convoluted. They had to. Basically, this just means less free honor, less free. So cool. Um, I don't think it'll change too much. I think maybe there'll be a little less spreading out of kingdom makers and a little less spreading out honor. We'll see. So about half of current honor generation per war mean have like 20,000 less honor on the top 20 king, which is like full honor rank. It's gonna be just a little bit less on across entire kingdoms, especially kingdoms that win a lot. Sometimes you'll see a kingdom that steamrolls 4 or 5 wars in a row, and they'll have their entire cores like viscounts and counts. Then you'll see kingdoms where all of their provinces are lords, except for like 4 TMs, they're all Dukes. So I think this is going to lend itself more to the latter, where you see a lot more honor concentrating on a few provinces and sort of steamroll. That's just kingdom wide, hilariously by honor. How that works. Bank income bonus increased to 1.5%. I literally. Currently at 0.25%. So banks are 20% better at just the modifier. Fair. More book decay. Production science nerfed. Interesting. Um, Production science scales really fast. You end up getting 400,000 books really early and then basically not touching it the rest of the age. I'm not sure if just reducing it overall is a change to that sort of, flow of the game, but it does seem pretty strong. Fair enough. Invocation science removed. I believe that's the casting. Casting. So yeah, nobody gets this outside of Genesis, so that's fair. Yes. New science reduces wizard and thief losses. Interesting. I've heard people ask about having that. I think that's a cool idea. Science efficiency damage from amnesia recovers over 8 ticks. You have to change a lot. That would be literally never used. Like, literally has no value. I don't know what that is actually. Oh. Learn attack increased to 10%. I believe it's currently half. Damage recovery over time. I just, two things don't make any sense. It just means that maybe it's fixed somewhere else. Earns worth more against unallocated books. I don't understand that. That's just punishing some guy that didn't log in for a day because he had a rough week. Basically, just lowering science gains from like a third, except for in the cases where you're trolling really hard for some guy that's having a bad week. I don't get that. Um, if you want to lower it to 2% or allocated, sure. Science gain. Changing it to this format doesn't make any sense to me at all. Just a weird flex that you're active. Wizard net worth increased to 7 from 5, so that's 40%. Pretty fair. Wizards are really strong. Net worths don't necessarily scale to the strength. This is more in line with, any wizard should probably have the net. Horses increased to 3. I like this change. I know some people have argued against this thing, but right now, war horses are. You just end up skipping stables. Everyone by end of age, and it's kind of boring. I have it. Um, the best way to fix it, I don't know. Throw off balance in other places, yeah, but I think it's better than what it is currently, so I like it. Bells, expose thieves. Spectate change to 10% of current stealth damage per tick. What? Does this mean if I'm at 100% stealth and you see me, I go to 90% stealth, and the next tick I go to like 84% stealth and 76% stealth? Because I'm like 10% plus I'm getting, I imagine. And then if I'm at 1%, or if I'm at 10% stealth, it just does 1 stealth damage a tick. Again, this is weird, right? Like this just forces you to never bank stealth in war. Because you have this for 10 ticks. Like, what's the math going to be on that? 10 to 14, down to 13, 17, to 16, 20, down to 18 to 22. So within 5 ticks, you're already losing 2% stealth a tick. So you're just simply not allowed to hold more stealth. Which is sort of how old ET worked. Except you had to actually cast old ET more than once every 10 hours. That seems weird. It's a big buff to ET, a big nerf to rogues. Um, Slight buff to heretics. Heretics tend to bank less stealth. It's a nerf to people that like doing waves of spells, like an efficient person that wants to not waste people's time and wants to like night strike someone every 8 hours. Now you just gotta night strike someone every hour and then also randomly guard, like arson them. Ooh, here, Jin. Magic Ward. Effect increased to 100%. Making someone's spells cost double. That's actually a huge pain in the ass. That has pretty scary value right now. Especially on chains. Like, you want to land lust? Good luck. Throw that on paladins doing supports, but just throw that on the entire enemy kingdom. Screw it. Yeah, that's brutal. Guile effect reduced to 10%. I see, I don't like that because at this point, 10% damage, but you have to cast a spell. Like, okay. How many spells are you casting? 20? It's like you cast this self spell for 3 mana, cast 20 fireballs, but you get the value of 22 fireballs. You use 21 and a half fireballs worth of mana to do it. And that's assuming 100% success. Like, if some bonuses, if it's going down to 10%, like, law, huh, increases draft cost by a whole bunch. Huh. Or spoils availability changed to general. Oh, so you can. I think that just means instant effect. Oh, sorry, availability changed to general, so everyone has it. I was thinking this was going to be an instant spell rather than a duration spell used to war spoil individual hits, which is actually a great idea. Uh, Interesting. You can do a lot of things with war spoils. It's not restricted to a personality or race. That gives you a lot of tactical play and a lot of competitive last second play at end of age and stuff like that. No more mist on the support spell list. Got Divine and Illuminate Shadows back. That's nice. Salvation is nice, but don't care as much. Um, I think this is a good change. I've been anti-mist support spell for a while. I thought having these gone was nice, but I think I prefer them on Paladin. Paladin feels a little bit cooler. No more affluent. It barriers nerfed. This part of barriers nerfed. This part of barriers probably also a nerf slightly compared to combat gains, but it's maybe a wash because it's probably better if you're thief mages. Um, so that's cool. I'm okay with that. Not 100% sure about the affluent thing. Expedient now just has a draft rate change in it. You just run Expedient or Ceasefire. My only issue with this is there's really nothing to do with your mana or first 20, like 48 hours of war now. Yeah, if that's what you're into, that's fine. Godspeed, attack time, and military casualties. That looks like offensive and defensive. That looks pretty strong. Havoc. Getting a buff into the damage, I'm okay with that. That looks pretty strong as well. 20% TPA, WPA. I haven't really noticed it that much. Uh, Something. Onslaught is unchanged. Stalwart's removed. Cool. Don't mind that at all. So, interesting. I like the removal of Stalwart because Turtle Play's boring. I mean, it's tactically nice and it's very strong, but it's just boring. Better to force people to be more aggressive just because it's more action and like across the entire game, people are gonna have a better, more. And choosing between attack speed and offense, interesting. It's a different kind of trade off than offense and defense. Now you get two ritual picks that are both strictly for your attackers. Huh. Okay. I'm down with that. I huh. I think these rituals are okay. Um Honor now gives you more food and room. So TMs are gonna be getting, percent more than before. 12% or however it works. Only bonus replaced with regular ME bonus, but it's halved. Oh boy. I don't like that at all. Uh I don't think you should be giving like successful TMs, even more ways to steamroll. You just gave every prince on the server 10% more defense. That's insane. Like, cool about Honor is that it was only offense. So, like, you had a lot of Honor, but you were a pure TM, you weren't utilizing that bonus. So now it's just like, whoever gets the best steamroll TM's gonna win. I don't like that part at all. Dragon, food cost double. I actually don't like this either. I do like the food dragon cost. I think it's neat. I think if you double it, that's actually getting into territory where you're going to be able to meet a bit too hard. What I mean uh, is what it is. Avians attack faster. They kill more. They have super homes. They get hit harder. They have a +1 O spec and D spec. And they have a pretty good elite. I think it's 15 this. No, it's 14. So that's just a. Yeah, I shouldn't say it's a huge buff to 8 because they're missing a lot of bonus. But they're not losing offense. They're gaining elite defense, which is nice. They're gaining a lot of free defense, which is they kill stuff while attacking faster. You can kind of multiply these two things together. Um, Home capacity is weird though, but Avian's one of the few attackers that can really easily run home more. It also is going to help their prep a lot. And out of war, they can run. That seems a little scary to me, seeing these bonuses stacked up, but it'll depend what we see from other races. This seems 15% attack time nerf. A lot. Combat losses, I actually care less about that. Deal. Hitting people harder is getting hit harder by a lot. Can't compare this to plus 10% gain. Because when I hit a TM, I want plus 10% gains. I get hit, I don't care. Hopefully I already hit a TM. Right? Pretty big nerf losing the attack time and birth rate and ambush protection. But they do have bonuses to match and no other nerf by the numbers, more defense. Um, see avians that stack honor getting pretty scary with the. That's cool. Avian looks strong. Or so free construction, but it's always and it's speeded, but it can never be faster than that. That's a big buff, I believe. You have to pay for a raise still. PE's the same. Spell list is good. They lost IS. I didn't remember that Orb had IS. Shows what I know. Um, huh. Overall, that's a fairly good buff, I believe, to Dwarf. That's nice. Offense numbers are the same, but they have a better horse. Oh, that is one thing. Assuming everyone's elite offense the same, avians are losing out on offense to horse buff. I hate it when dwarves have missed. I mean, dwarves had missed last age. You stack building efficiency with guard stations, little bit of thing. Dwarves will have good offense. They have an even more flexibility with their builds and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Crazy overpowered. It is tanky elite. You know, I'm not feeling the spell duration buff. I'm not a fan at all. I really don't like the spell duration buffs, at least offensively. I find it pretty annoying. It's just a lot. A lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage. Is what it is. -5 population, -1 general. What is this? Fairy? Access to all racial spells? What is this? Fairy? um, I like these bonuses and nerfs. I think that makes for fun gameplay. Even the rune protection, I'm okay with. I think the spell duration needs to be scaled back, though. It's really absurd getting 10 tick ETs, 10 tick chastity, like 14 tick meteor showers, tick greeds, all that sort of stuff. I'm not feeling it. If you must, I'd cap it at like 15%. Like hell, Guile's at a plus 10% bonus, but you're gonna buff this up to 25%. Like, just get real. Um, but yeah, 12-point D spec that you can train really cheaply. Tanky elite, if in case you need an elite. All good. Um, Still your supercaster. Need to see what every racial spell is to evaluate this. 5% population isn't a nerf. 10% population is awful. 5% doesn't exist. That's how it works. 12D spec's always good, especially since it looks like we're going to see a bit of a steamroll honor meta based on general mechanics. So that D spec favors that a lot more than elite training. You can just get super high WPA really early, use that to farm, scale your defense and stuff with. That elite seems pretty cheap. That elite seems pretty cheap. That elite seems pretty cheap now that I'm. We've got significantly cheaper elites. This is almost half the price. So we did get rid of. So I said I'd be referencing. We got rid of spec converts and replaced it with way, way, way cheaper other things. Very, even less population and birth rate. Oh boy. And their elite has no benefit at all. And every one of these spells is available to Elf. And they have 25% WPA. What do we got here? Guile. Ghost Workers is good. Chastity's, I don't know, Guile, whatever, magic. Huh. It's only an 850. So you're getting full elites, even without affluent. Full elites, minus 10 population, but full elites, good spells. Also means that Elf has all of these spells, but no runes needed is such a trippy thing. Um, it's not. I mean, you can say that's worth 10% or 20% land in war, or however you want to quantify it, but it's more than that. It's it's the fact that when things are going really poorly, you still don't need runes. Like when everyone's raised out or like you're exploded, stuff like that, you still don't need the runes. So when things are really a struggle, you're plus you can abolish ritual and land less for stuff like that. That being said, don't land less too much with a birth rate like that. Interesting. So I don't like spell duration, but otherwise I really like the look of both. Um, see how that goes. Pretty big nerf to defense. Minus 10 pop and a worse elite. Crazy bad. Fairies got kicked in the balls hard. Elf. They don't have unlimited runes anymore. But Fairy does. Take it or leave it. Halflings just way, 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 way better than Elf and Fairy right now. I think that's all you need to say for that. Their ability to have offense and defense, pretty huge. uh, I mean, you're missing a lot of spells. That's the thing. Not a and have backup spells. But in terms of just throwing defense and thieves on a province, this is crazy strong. Like if you struggle, elf or fairy getting hit, it's gonna be bad. As halfling, you can just like hands behind your head, lean back. A problem. At least relative, right? Like relative to this age, halfling only has fences home now. But combining TPA effectiveness with the population, suddenly you have 10% population with like 8 TPA that's also 25% better is another like +2 raw TPA. Now you're getting silly. So Halfling's just gonna raffle stomp people. Um Human. Oh dear. What do we have here? A really expensive, shitty elite, amazing O specs, science efficiency and birth rate, and Tree of Gold. Oh man, I'm I'm just going pure spec human. I don't care what anyone says. I'll just use my science to have a few hospitals. I don't give a hoot. Um, 12 O spec is so good, man. It's so good. And you've got a little bit more defense that you can use. You can use this to just suicide, but like not always suicide. Like you can go pure elite and suicide, or you can go like 4 EPA, 4 D-Specs breaker and suicide. But either way, you should just be learn way up with your X suicide and that looks strong as hell. Um, got less offense than other people. You've got more offense than an avian that's purely. Got less offense than a orc. Back to having gains and bloodlust. Take extra spell and op damage. Got a little bit more offense. So You have a here is an orc with uh, two more offense and 20% gain. And free draft, not even reduced draft, but draft. Orc looks pretty strong. That elite's affordable for what it is. And instant damage sucks, but orc smash, right? Orc smash? Orc smash. We all agree on orc smash. I think we all smash. Yeah, looks good to me. A bit of a glass cannon, but oh well. Undead minus half losses on offense, plague, food, animate dead, shitty science, and no hospital. That's interesting. They got a monster elite. They've got a big boy elite. Um, Pretty boring. Probably balanced enough. If it's a Sage meta, these guys might be a bit too weak, but if we get back to a bit of a more normal meta, this is fine. I don't know. I like Plague. I've been sort of feeling like I'm missing out on the undead. I might just say screw it and play undead for no reason. I want to Plague something in a while. So, same offense as current undead, but without the insane elite. With and without the military wages and without the weird sabotage one. Yeah, 25% science penalty is pretty harsh. Um, Maybe still balanced, maybe not. I think maybe this is a bit weak. I think if you want to smash people, you go orc and he undead, sort of in a weird spot. But hey, you could make it work. It's just hard to keep those elites if you get chained with a regular D spec and no hosps and no minus losses to your defense. It's just a bit easy to chain really hard. And this science penalty ends up being really rough in the late age. You got to really rely on plague and early offense, I guess. Because offensive losses isn't really what's causing you to play your offense. Not really screwing as much. Cleric. Back to minus 30% military casualties. See, this is one of the few ages I might actually consider an undead cleric on a um go undead cleric, paramana defense, hit people. Pretty cool to me. More traditional cleric, unlike what we had, just has all of those support spells. The plague, minus losses. Very normal, happy cleric. I think that. Heretic. A lot of bonus damage. Plus, you can stack this with fairy and elf. Guile. You're looking at 30, like plus 33% damage. Wizard production. 50% minus T loss is reasonable. 75%. Access to amnesia. Sometimes I prefer racial amnesia. Sometimes I prefer personality. It depends if I'm picking that race or personality. How much I like it. Um, Very standard heretic. Not a lot of change. A little bit more damage here. Getting that in. So, run of the mill, par for the course, slightly better. Um, Merchants in the game, 30% more income, 50% protection from theft, plunder, and fool's gold on only your gold. Immune to riots, and you have clear sight. That's See, I have no idea how to evaluate that because, like, should should probably I don't know. I wasn't around back when Merchant was a thing and sort of a more gold focused utopia. Me, that just seems weird. Um, I couldn't tell you if that's good or bad. I think there's definitely worlds where this is really playing if you just go human, laugh at people, kind of gold get. On dragons while having a spec only events. It's gonna be really weird and people are gonna complain and all that jazz. But hey, I'll take it. Sounds fun. Mystic. Mystic with Mage's Fury is okay. Very basic Mystic, nothing fancy. Just realized that all the science bonuses are out of the game. But now Mystic accommodates that by having Mage's Fury. So that's cool. You're gonna want them. They're good. Um, they don't have Rev or anything, so they're not crazy amazing. Relying on that Mage's Fury now. Um, yeah, that's a big nerf to Rogue and Mystic losing Revelations and this Science. Very standard Rogue. 100% TDs is usually pretty strong. Having invisibility is really huge. That's a crazy spell to have. Um, Halfling Rogue has plus 40% thief power. They're always going to have max TDs. They have the unbreakable defense. I have effectively 10 raw TPA. That seems scary to me. Seems pretty strong. And without Rev, there's a little bit less like science stacking, so you can push your wizards a lot higher rather than these. Sage, 10% book production, learns, revelations, and SI. So not really nerfed. Got the same effective science efficiency, and it's still got Rev. And everyone lost their science book. Now Sage has a 10% science. Sage might be a bit aggressive again as well. Less like Tact and Warrior have been buffed. Sage is going to be Sage. See what happens there. You're going to end up in a situation where Sage is really good at having a just like Sage and hard to. I think Sage is a bit strong. Maybe I'm overvaluing SI because it's not as good having just it kinds of. But, well, Shepherd, tanky, 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 and reflect magic. Um, I don't think this is super strong. Um, you can find a good way to tank yourself up really well, minus ops, and you can make something work. But I don't think people are going to be picking this very much. Very strong. Might need a little bit more. I don't know what enhanced conquest is. That's going to have to be clarified. Uh, Basically, an unchanged tactician. Very, very strong. Very strong in a core focused age as well. Slightly weaker if it's sort of a core versus TM sort of age, but if it's core versus core sort of age, tactician's excellent. Uh this is basically the exact same War Hero. So nobody picked War Hero, but I think War Hero is super good. I think War Hero this age was possibly one of the best core picks. I think it just got a little overshadowed by people playing the late game with Sage, but I think War Hero scales really well. Assuming you wore 4, 5, 6 times an age, I don't even think you have to win. I think even if you lose, War Hero scales in a similar way to Sage. And with the way that honor bonus is now going to give you defense, like you get some really tanky, hard to kill war heroes. Interesting. Warrior, minus wages, cheap mercs, and 15% OME. I like 15% OME. It's a really big number. It's a lot of offense. Huh. Interesting. Overall, I think that this seems pretty balanced, but TMs seem pretty weak. Like everyone got more offense, seemed equal or more offense across the board. Nerfed TMs. I think Halfling's overtuned. And honestly, I don't think the spell book for Elf is that insane. I think they have Clear Sight, Reflect Magic. They don't have Revelation. They do have Bloodlust and Tree of Gold. That's where things start getting weird for Elf, is when you start looking at things like Bloodlust and Tree of Gold and Greater Protection, Ghost Workers. You end up having sort of that super tanky attacker. I think that's pretty strong. I think Fairy's struggling a lot with my birth rate and only 12 elite. Will they make it work, especially with a bonus like this? Probably. And they don't convert into defense anymore. So if they run as sort of a weird tanky attacker, they scale well. They don't lose that offense anymore. They maintain a pretty low net worth. If they get chained, they can land lust and amnesia and stuff like crazy. Not name. Land lust and polish really easily. And if they're bloated, then they're not at least burning your runes or anything, and they handle that a bit better. But being bloated with low birth rate's really rough. I don't know about that either. That's proposed changes, everyone. I think it's decently fun. Doesn't seem too crazy. It feels sort of like back to the roots. I think we're just gonna have to see a little bit more balance. Overall, I think that's fine. Not the most excited I've ever been for an age, nor do I think it's stupid or anything. Perhaps just a little bit bland, but I don't think bland is too bad for age 100. I think a lot of people want to try really hard this age, so having a somewhat bland game that people can run the numbers and just focus on playing hard, good thing. Big takeaways: losing elite converts, change to force ceasefire, removing war score. I think all of that's pretty cool. So, banks buffed. So out of the blue. I never thought. Anyways, that's my read through and review of the proposed changes for age 100. I hope everyone's getting excited for the age. I hope everyone's putting together a big, strong roster, and I hope everyone's going for the Triple Crown. Everyone should get maximum honor, maximum land, maximum net worth. Use your pool, grow, or whoever's closest to you, grow again, do it over and over. Because you know what? That's a really fun way to play Utopia. It only needs maybe 6 people doing it for all 6 of those people to have a lot of competition, a lot of ups and downs. You win one, you're facing, that other guy that won one. Lose one, someone else in range to play, grow again. And it makes sort of a self-sorting ladder that I think is really nice. Encourage everyone to drop your pools. And that's my rant. Watching.